Hello everyone, how's it going? So we're talking about Marathon again, and look, things do not look good. And before I get to the core of the story, I want to make note that I platinumed this game. I put in over 100 hours to this game, so look, I've experienced a lot this game has to offer, and I'm telling you right now, this does not look good. You can see from this graph right here, the number just keeps going down and down and down, and when you look at your top competition right now, I know a lot of people don't like to compare a Marathon to this, but this is your top competition. This is one platform. Even if you take into consideration Xbox and PlayStation, like this is just like absolutely decimating your competition. Like Arc Vaders came out before Marathon, it's still pulling over 100k players on PC alone. Things do not look good. And when you're Sony, who purchased Bungie for billions upon billions of dollars, this is just something that you really have to take into heavy consideration, especially when you consider their other flagship franchise, Destiny 2, isn't doing so hot. A lot of people don't like the latest update. I tried the latest update for Destiny 2. It's literally just a Star Wars parody, and it just doesn't fit into Destiny 2. It feels like it's Fortnite at this point, and I know Destiny 2 has had a lot of cross-promotion stuff, but the latest one with Star Wars was just so benign and boring and uneventful, especially considering how much rich lore Destiny has. I don't know why they did this. It just seems like a heavy cash grab. And when it comes to Marathon itself, this is a franchise that, like, look, I've played over 100 hours of this game. The lore in this game is absolutely fantastic. The gunplay is great. The weapons look cool. The environment is fantastic. But this game, it's lacking in content. It lacks in longevity. Like, and then look at it like this, like the lore documents in this game, learning about the various people on Tile Ceti 4, how they survived the events, the rogue AIs, the alien infections, all of this is just so incredibly dark, and I love it. And the problem is gathering these lore documents is such an acute requirement. I don't know if they literally fixed it, but regardless, it was just so horrible when the game launched. You had to find these rare lore documents where they were rarer than some weapons that were literally elite tier, like we're talking about purple and gold. And you had to find them, then you had to extract off the level in order to gain access to them, and only one player had access to them. So if I had it and no one else had it, it basically meant you were in competition with everyone else because everyone wanted these lore documents because they were so rare. And even if you're playing this game with the incentive of saying, hey, I'm gathering all these incredible resources, I'm going to be able to, build up my repertoire of weapons and items, well, when you look at the fact that they're going to seasonally wipe you by the end of the season with all your items, everything is gone, it doesn't really give you incentive to keep collecting these items and weapons. It just says, hey, look, this is over once the season is over. And once that is done, there's nothing you can do about it. And that is absolutely just ridiculous. It just says, hey, doesn't matter how much you work, how many weapons you accumulate, everything's going to be gone. And this is a way to balance the game, even though it's not going to balance anything, because the players who have the higher level of skill, who understand the game mechanics, which takes a minimum of around 2 hours to understand everything in this game, they're going to still decimate other players, and it's just going to be another bloodbath. And right now we're seeing that because a lot of people who are still actively playing this game are reporting queue times up to 10 minutes, which I'm not surprised because I also experienced that. And the only players who are still playing this game are sweaty people who literally rush the spawn point in order to take advantage of low-ranked players. They go into the first map, they rush the spawn points because they're the same with other players, or they camp areas of significance because of the contracts. They know what contracts you're on, because the maps are fashioned a certain way to adhere to certain contracts that are contracted, or I forgot what they're called. I believe they're contested contracts, where players literally have to get to a certain location because multiple people have that contract, so they'll just camp a computer or something. But yeah, things are just getting worse and worse. And when you consider they spent around $250 million, that's the reported number on this game, which, by the way, only has 3 maps. One map is only unlocked during the weekend, starting Thursday, and Halo Reach. Halo Reach means so much to me. I literally have Noble Team's logo tattooed onto my arm. Halo Reach launched with a fully realized single-player campaign, which you can play with up to 3 other players, co-op, customizable Noble 6, completely customizable. You can bring it into the multiplayer and the single player. Had multiple multiplayer modes: Slayer, Big Team Battle, Invasion, which was basically their version of Battlefield's Rush mode, where one side of the team played elites, the other side played Spartans. They had Firefight, which is Horde mode. They had file sharing. They had the ability to watch previous matches on Theater, and not only could you watch your player, you could watch other people. You can literally have a bird's eye view and see everything that's happening or follow other players. They had the ability to share and make custom matches with Forge. All these for $60. Yes, this game is $40, but dear God, like, it has such a lacking in content. Progression systems just suck. Like, what are you really working towards other than guns that swap colors? And it's just like nothing looks unique. Everything feels boring. There's no progression. Everything's going to get wiped. And when you spend $250 million, which I don't know where all that money went. Like, at this point, like, it's become a meme that AAA companies just burn through money because of poor management. And I just don't know how you spend $250 million on this game. Like, I'm not a game designer, but that much money for essentially 4 maps, 6 characters, I think it's 7 with Rook. I don't know. Like, it just seems crazy. And the thing is, the game's reported that it sold about 1 million copies. Yes, people are reporting, like, the amount of players who have played are around 2.2 million. Whenever someone says players played and engaged, it's an instant red flag. It's like with Dragon Age the Veilguard. That made me fully aware. Whenever someone says this, they are too scared to report on sales. And the thing is, Sony has not issued a huge marketing campaign talking about sales, because guess what? It's not looking good, and they know it's not looking good because every company, when they have a large amount of sales, automatically have all the tweets going out or the marketing campaigns. This many players have bought the game, because the second they say played, the first thing people are going to say, wait, players played? What? How many sales are that? Because they're not taking into account refunds, which are the number one thing, and player count, which is abysmal right now. Now, Bungie has been trying to literally fix the game with all the issues. Like, I made note of this in my review about how freaking overpowered the shotgun was. Basically, it didn't matter what type of shotgun you had. You can literally two-shot anyone. Anyone who had purple or gold shields, just get a shotgun. It could be a gray shotgun. You can two-shot someone easily. I've done that so much to the point that you needed a shotgun no matter what. Then they nerfed the shotgun, and then it got so bad that everyone was like, this is a waste of time, because you needed 3 shots instead of 2. So you would shoot the player twice, need to reload, which the shotgun had the longest reload animation in the game, at least from my perspective, and you have to shoot the person a 3rd time, which at that point you're basically dead, because if they had any automatic weapon like a submachine gun, you're done. And then they tried to, like, this is my review where I go into detail about that, but then they fixed that again, and they increased the damage with the shotgun, and now it's back to normal. So they went back, they changed it, then they went back to the original formula. They have no idea what they're doing right now, because they made this game for sweats, and they're trying to now make the game for sweats and for casual players. And it's just not going to work that way. They did try to offer a sponsor kit for Cryo Archive to give players a chance in order to engage with it. But look, it's not going to work. Like, if you've ever looked at any tutorial videos of how to get to the compiler, you know that there's no way a player is going to be able to do all that. I literally had to find someone on Reddit, on forums, and get them together. I would be like, hey, I have this level of gear. Anyone want to do the Cryo Archive? And no one would give me the time of day except these 2 guys who were like, you know what? Yeah, I have the gear. Let's look up the videos and look up how to do it. And we got to the final room in the compiler, and guess what? There was a team camping outside the room with shotguns, and the red tier weapon you get from the compiler completely killed us. At that point, everyone said, we're done. We're not playing this game anymore. I'm sorry. And I felt the same way. I was like, I was done. So, it doesn't matter how many changes they make. This is still going to be a present issue. There is, like, the biggest thing they could do to fix this is literally just add a player versus environment option. Make it that there's no player versus player and just player versus environment. I know a lot of people say that defeats the purpose, but at this point they gotta do it because your game's meta is so lopsided that it's impossible for new players to come into the game. Make it that there are more increased bot activity and certain items are not able to drop while you're in player versus environment. But either way, all these changes are not going to matter because everyone is just dipping at this point. They're like done with this game, and I can't blame them. It doesn't have the lasting staying power of other more compelling games. There are so many other options available, and you can't bank on Bungie's reputation because Bungie's reputation is in the toilet right now. No one trusts this company anymore, and it doesn't matter if they say the people who still worked on Halo still work at the company. At least some people did. It doesn't matter. Your reputation is in the toilet, and you have yourself to blame. The huge plagiarism scams, not only with Marathon, but with Destiny. The constant removal of content that people have paid for in Destiny 2. Like, that's why I don't buy anything from anything that involves Bungie, because at any time, they can literally take it away. It doesn't matter how much they discount the Destiny expansions. I know, based on their past experience, they're going to vault this content and take it away from me, despite I paid money for it. Like, it's ridiculous. So their reputation is in the toilet. Their biggest competition is crushing them. They're unable to balance the game to encourage players to come. And the player base has dropped so much that people can't even find a match. Like, this game is cooked at this point. I just don't see them making a No Man's Sky level of revival, because if they took multiple years, $250 million to make this game, how exactly are they going to make a No Man's Sky level revival, like, given the fact that they haven't done really anything so far? They held back content for the Cryo Archive launch, and now we've gotten nothing. 4 maps? Are you kidding me? Like, you guys don't even have a team deathmatch. You don't have a capture the flag. Like, you can literally just take those assets and create basic maps, and you guys couldn't even do that. I just don't get the mentality behind all of this. Like, are you guys saving that for another content drop? But look, we got now we finally got Slayer, we finally got Team Deathmatch, and you're just gonna be like, it's too late. Like, if you wait too long, and you've waited way too long, I just don't see this coming back. Like, when the new season arrives, who's gonna be left to do all of this, especially when they wipe out all of the items they've collected, all the compiler weapons, all the Cryo Archive weapons, all the contracts, everything is gone. So why in the heck would players come back and say, I gotta do this all over again? Like, imagine if you played World of Warcraft and you got to level 50 and every month they reset the level back to level 1. Would you still play the game? Like, and not even World of Warcraft. Like, if it was Call of Duty, like, they said, hey, every month or every season we're going to wipe everyone back to 0. Not even prestige rank. You just go back to level 1. How many of you would still grind camos? I just don't see this game making a resurgence. I could be wrong. Stranger things have happened. But I just don't see it. Like, I don't know who's going to stick around with this game, and I think by the end of it, it's just going to be highly competitive players, which right now I'm almost certain that's the only people who are left in this game. And even then, they're going to get so bored or so annoyed by the fact that they're only playing against high-ranked players, because, let's face it, high-ranked players love to play against low-ranked players just to decimate and make themselves feel better about their ego. How many times have we seen, like, pro players literally use Smurf accounts or literally de-rank themselves just so they can decimate lower-ranked players? Just saying, ego trips are really huge when it comes to these types of games. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Again, I platinumed this game, and I have no interest in return, especially seeing that all my stuff is going to be gone. But that's it from me. Like, dislike, your choice. Goodbye. Have a good day.